Why aren't you drying your hair properly? Akbab asked as she stepped out of the bathroom and saw Rin sketching some work on her iPad while her hair was still damp. No hair dryer. Then at least towel it off. If you get sick abroad, it's gonna be a mess. It'll dry on its own. Rin brushed her off with a mumble, eyes and focus still fixed on her work. Akbab felt uneasy watching it. She couldn't stand anyone being sloppy, careless, or not as precise as she was. She picked up another towel and started drying Rin's hair for her. Rin froze, her hand slipping, the line she was drawing going completely off. Ever heard of scalp fungus? Dampness breeds bacteria. Next thing you know, dandruff, inflammation, itchy scalp. You're so dramatic. It's just this one time. Rin kept arguing but didn't stop Akbab, who was toweling her hair section by section. Mr. Rain just messaged me, the older woman said after staying quiet for a while. Mindspace has submitted their draft. He really liked it. You're worried we'll lose? A little. We don't have anything concrete yet and time's running out. Submitting early doesn't mean the work's better. These things take time. More or less, it takes time. As long as we don't go beyond the deadline, we'll be fine. I believe if we really give it our all, it'll turn out great. Hearing her, Akbab sighed, but it was one of those deep exhales that let go of tension and brought back a bit of calm. They looked into each other's eyes. Then Rin asked a question out of the blue. How do you know when you've fallen for someone? The question threw Akbab off completely. Her heartbeat skipped. Where the hell did that come from? Why do you want to know? I've been studying Mr. Rain and Mrs. Mink, and it got me wondering, what does falling in love feel like? Is it like in novels, dramas? Or what I've always imagined? I don't know. I guess it's a kind of happiness no one else can make you feel? Rin tilted her head, not agreeing or disagreeing, just thinking. Then she noticed Akbab's hair was still damp too, probably because she was too busy drying hers earlier. So Rin got up, grabbed another towel, and began drying Akbab's hair in return. The room had gone so quiet they could hear the sound of a heartbeat as they helped drying each other's hair, though neither could tell whose was louder. Then, just as Rin spoke up, "Can I ask you something?" The towel in Akbab's hand slipped and fell, covering the upper half of Rin's face. Only her chatty lips remained visible. "If you ever fall in love, could you tell me?" Akbab blinked slowly. She didn't answer right away. All at once, she felt a strong, invisible pull, urging her to lean in close, her gaze locked on those lips. Maybe it was the lingering memory of that kiss, still whispering to her to do it again. Achoo! Rin sneezed loud enough to shake the walls. The towel hit the floor. Akbab, who had almost lost herself in the moment, snapped back to reality and quickly pulled away, embarrassed and flustered by her own behavior. Rin raised an eyebrow in confusion, then shot her a teasing smile. With that look, don't tell me you've fallen for me? Akbab threw the towel at her face in embarrassment and snapped, "Go to bed. We have an early morning tomorrow." "Ah, come on, babe." Changing the subject again. "You're still going?" While strolling through a local market full of shops and stalls run by people in the neighborhood, Rin couldn't help but comment on how kind the locals were to tourists. Just a moment ago at a sweet stand, the shop owner had given out free Mitarashi dango sticks, and they each got some too. "I met a kind person the last time I was here too," Akbab agreed with her. "Yeah? What sweets did they give you?" "Not sweets, but positivity, though we'd never even met before." Rin turned to her with attention, silently encouraging her to go on. "I was crying because I lost my sketchbook. This old man came up and asked if I was all right. He was so kind. I told him I'd just lost something really important, and he handed me a bag of Odin probably just bought from a convenience store. He said it was a treat to cheer me up, and that good luck would come my way." Back then, Akbab hesitated. She wasn't used to accepting things from strangers. But the man didn't seem like a scammer, so she took the bag with gratitude, and that was when she noticed the sketchbook and portable drawing tools in his other hand. She then struck up a conversation with curiosity. "Are you an artist, sir?" "An architect." "Really? I'm an architect too." "Is that so? Then how about we do a little sketching together?" It might lift your spirits a bit. I said yes, but when I saw that blank page he handed me, I suddenly felt sad again. It felt just like my heart, completely empty. The old man, who had been watching her sadness with gentle eyes, shared a bit of wisdom. Every drawing tells a story. It reflects the feelings and thoughts of the one who draws it. No matter what emotions you put into it, your drawing will always matter to you. Hearing that made me stop and think. And eventually, I began to draw. This Kakura castle. Akbab gestured toward the castle, which they'd spent a while walking around. So, how come you don't draw anymore? I've barely seen you sketch since we got here. I don't know. Maybe I just don't think it'll be good enough for anyone to like, Akbab said, her voice uncertain, much like the way she felt about her own work. But I like it, Rin said, locking eyes with Akbab like she meant something more. Then, flustered, she quickly looked away toward the rows of cherry blossom trees crowded with tourists and added, I mean your drawings. Is that so? I thought you meant me. Whoa, look who's so smooth now. Someone's leveling up. Rin grinned, cheeks puffed as she caught up to Akbab's steps. Did you know Mrs. Mink was the one who proposed to Mr. Rain? That fun fact was new to Akbab, so she turned to the storyteller in surprise. Really? Mrs. Mink did. Yup, right here. In the photo, she was kneeling like this, with the castle view in the background, at this exact angle. Not just speaking, Rin mimed the pose dramatically to paint the scene. Lucky them, finding someone who really loves them. Hearing that, Rin smiled and then asked, Hey, do you think we should have their proposal photo in the house? That's a good idea. Akbab nodded with a small smile, but just as she did, they heard a camera shutter. She turned and saw a small group of Japanese onlookers taking pictures of them. Wow. Congratulations. Wishing you both a long, happy life together. As soon as the words were spoken, a round of applause broke out in congratulations, leaving Akbab scrambling to clear up the misunderstanding. No, we're not getting married. Well, we might as well ask for that photo. This is totally our proposal pic now. Rin. After escaping the crowd of onlookers and the stares from curious tourists, the two walked on toward the Kitakyushu Central Library, the building with a curved roof design that gave it a striking presence. Compared to Kakura Castle, the area outside the library was much quieter, despite being just across the road. Did Mrs. Mink and Mr. Rain come here too? Akbab asked the girl who'd suggested the visit. Rin shook her head. Nope. What? Then why are we here? Well, I think this is around the spot where we first met. We missed each other that day. We never actually met. But we're meeting now, aren't we? Rin said with a soft smile. And this place is perfect for sketching. You might get hit with inspiration. In the end, Akbab gave in to the girl's endless stream of excuses. The two stepped into the library together, both wide-eyed at the interior, the hanging artworks, and the arched ceilings that added to its grandeur. I came here 3 years ago for a book signing, Rin said as the surroundings brought back old memories. A signing? Yeah, the architect who designed this place. I'm a fan. She was talking about Arita Isozaki, the very person who had inspired her to study Japanese until she could communicate in it, travel across countries, wake up early, and carry a stack of his books here to ask for an autograph. Mr. Arita was very kind. We got to talk a little during the signing. He told me that a good architect doesn't just need skill, but heart. Back then, Rin didn't quite understand what he meant. Maybe her Japanese wasn't strong enough to grasp the deep meaning of that sentence. Or maybe it wasn't that deep, and she just didn't have enough experience yet to understand. Design with heart, that's what he said. I still don't fully get what it means or how to do it, but I've held on to that idea ever since. They stopped in front of a framed photo on the wall. Akbab blinked rapidly, her mouth falling open in disbelief as she took it in. This is Mr. Arita? She asked Rin again, despite the clear name and message under the photo paying tribute to the late Arita. Yes, Rin confirmed it. He's the old man I told you about. What? The girl let out a gasp, caught between shock and surprise. Seriously? Yeah. Akbab looked at the portrait of Mr. Arida before turning to the girl beside her. The world really is small. She smiled. Rin smiled back, never more grateful that the world wasn't flat. Chan was both surprised and touched to suddenly get a message from his younger sister, who rarely updated him on anything personal. He opened Line on his computer. Remember the old man I met in Japan? I just found out he was a famous Japanese architect. His name was Arida Isozaki. Whoa, that's amazing. And how are things over there? Did you get anything good? I'll tell you when I get back. Reading that last message of his sister made Chan smile even wider. Look who's keeping her bro updated now. He typed back, once you've got something, hurry back. This place feels so empty without you. Just then, Yong came by in a rush to say Pat had called for a meeting. Chan hurriedly followed him without closing his Line window. He didn't realize that someone had quietly come over to peek at his screen. Any ideas yet? No, Akbab replied, shaking her head as she sat down for a break outside the gallery in the library. It feels like something's still missing. How do you normally start your designs? Exactly as the design thinking textbook says. I start by understanding the client, their story, their pain points, then accuracy, big picture. Wow, that sounds very theoretical. Maybe that's why you're stuck. If I don't follow that, what should I follow? Your heart, like Mr. Arida said. But how? Akbab asked, genuinely puzzled. Rin, however, had been living with that concept for 3 years now and was starting to form her own interpretation. Maybe it's like falling in love with someone, letting your feelings lead for once. It sounded simple, but it was hard to do. Akbab was even more confused, her thoughts circling around what it meant to design with heart. Then they continued on toward the same cafe, where Rin had left the sketchbook. Akbab turned and asked, curious, why'd you leave the sketchbook here? Because it had a drawing of the place in it. I figured the owner might come back to look for it. And you did. Rin grinned. Smart, huh? Thanks for returning it. That sketchbook really means a lot to me. If you're really grateful, then buy me a coffee. Didn't I already buy everything on this trip? Akbab said, gesturing for the girl to go ahead and order whatever she wanted. Rin then beamed and rushed to get drinks and dessert for herself. The two of them sat sipping coffee and nibbling on sweets for a while. During that time, the younger girl tried sneaking photos of Akbab. Not subtly at all. Are you sneaking photos? No, I'm totally just taking pictures of the view outside. Rin kept her cool while choosing a shot of her coffee and uploading it to Instagram. By the way, still not giving me your IG? Let me think about it. So hard to get. Gosh. Come on, finish that up. We've got one more stop. Where to? I thought we were done for the day. Not quite. Rin blinked. Where else was Akbab planning to take her? As far as she remembered, today's itinerary ended at the Central Library. But once they arrived at the location, Rin was stunned. She clung tightly to Akbab's arm, legs trembling as if she were about to faint. We're actually going up there? That's so high. Didn't think someone like you would be scared of anything. You're afraid of ghosts. I'm a person. People get scared of something. Hang in there. Trust me, it'll be worth it. Akbab chuckled at Rin's childlike fear as they made their way up to the observatory at Takatoyama Park, standing 124 meters high. And just as she said, it was worth it. The evening view was absolutely breathtaking. From up here, they could see almost all of Kitakyushu stretch out into the horizon, with the Wakato Bridge crossing over the water that now reflected the fading orange rays of the sun. Totally worth it. Rin had forgotten her fear of the height. It's gorgeous. I skipped this place last time because it was too high. If I'd known it'd be like this, I would have come sooner. Strange, Akbab murmured to herself. The view looks even better than when I came alone. Maybe it's prettier because I'm here with you? Very funny. The view's beautiful on its own. Then what did you mean by better? Akbab didn't answer. She just laughed softly, letting the scenery and the moment soothe the stress from work that had clung to her. Then she felt her hand being gently taken and held, as if by accident. She turned to raise an eyebrow, but didn't pull away. We still have to stay in character as Mrs. Mink and Mr. Rain, Rin said, using that as an excuse to say what was on her mind, half joking but partly serious. If I really were Mrs. Mink, I'd probably tell Mr. Rain how happy I am to be in Kitakyushu with him. How happy I am to have him here with me. Akbab said nothing, quietly taking in the girl's words. If you were Mr. Rain, what would you say back to Mrs. Mink? I guess. The young woman pondered a little. I'd probably say I liked Kitakyushu more when she was here with me. They looked at each other for a long time, a smile slowly blooming across both faces. Shall we take a photo to remember this, Mr. Rain? Sure, Akbab said with a nod. But after the selfie, Rin threw out a question that sent Akbab's heart racing all over again. If those two were standing here for real, do you think they'd kiss? Their eyes met and held. This time, Akbab didn't miss her chance or hesitate at all. She leaned in and kissed the younger girl softly on the lips as an answer. After that surprise kiss, both Akbab and Rin were a little awkward for a long while before their mood settled and things felt normal again. They stayed at the overlook, enjoying the view of Kitakyushu even after the sun had disappeared past the horizon. Rin tilted her head, glancing at Akbab's phone, which was now open to Instagram. You're unlocking your profile? She asked as she saw the young woman turning off the private account feature. Yeah. What made you change your mind? So, now you can follow me now. Isn't that good? Akbab smiled. Absolutely. Rin quickly replied. So good. Amazing. Love it. But right as she finished, Akbab's phone screen lit up with an incoming call. The video call was from Mine's account. Their smiles disappeared. Are you going to answer? Rin asked with complicated feelings, mostly irritation and dissatisfaction at how Mine still wouldn't let Akbab go. I don't want to talk to her. Then I'll do it. With that, she reached over, grabbed Akbab's phone, and answered. Then Mine's face appeared on screen, momentarily frozen in surprise. Hello. May I ask what you'd like to discuss with my Pakbab today?